wabarakatuh.
Say hi. Say hi. Alright guys, so as you guys can tell by the title of this video, this is going to be all about assumptions made about influencers in general that you guys see me from. Dougie, no, go to bed. Go. Go. Y'all, I'm sorry that y'all have to hear me disciplining my child on camera, but she is bad, okay? I screenshotted them, and right when I was finna hit record, I realized that I am ashy, okay? You know what I'm saying? I just took a shower, child. I'm ashy. I'm gonna answer these assumptions, and I'm gonna keep it real with y'all. I'm gonna keep it 100% real with y'all on every last one of these, and I'm just gonna tell you if they are true, of course, for me or not, because obviously I can't speak for every single influencer on the planet. So the first assumption on YouTube was I can't really speak for that because I don't have a family channel, but I do know other YouTubers. You're a content creator, so you do have to plan your content. It's not like most people's lives are just not, you know, super interesting to where like you wake up in the morning and y'all are doing something interesting every single day, or your life is just really that interesting. People with family channels will like plan out what they're going to do the next day. Like, hey, we're going to the zoo. Let's go ahead and plan to vlog this. These are the things that we want to do. But I mean, to say that the actual content itself is like they had a script. You're going to do this. You're going to laugh at this time. You're going to, you know, do that. I don't think nobody do that. Like, it's just, that would be super obvious. And people will be, like, it just would be super obvious. But I mean, at the same time, people still watch it because we know for a fact that Love and Hip Hop is scripted, okay? And we still sit and watch it because it's entertaining. So I do want to touch on this because I do know there is an assumption that goes on with a lot of beauty influencers. And the thing about it is, I can just speak for me. If it's a difference between it being a review and it being an ad. So they both can be sponsored, but you could have a sponsored review, and they are just sponsoring you to essentially review their products. Like, it's your honest review. They are sponsoring it because they want you to mention them. They want to use your platform. And I mean, I've done plenty of sponsored content that are reviews, and I still didn't like it. Like, obviously as a professional, because here's the thing, this is your job. So it's like there is a level of professionalism to it. Like, you never hate everything about all things. Like, even if there are things that you hate, you can probably find qualities about that person, if we're talking about people, or that thing that are okay. So even when you're reviewing a product, usually there are things that you can still speak, you know, positively about it. And because everybody is different, everybody's hair is different, everybody's skin is different, you know, you can still leave a review that is authentic and still, you know, recommend that people try it. Because just because I don't like something or this didn't work for my hair, you may not have the same characteristics of my hair. You may not, one, live in the same environment, have the same porosity level, have the same density, have the same hair texture, all these different things, have the same diet as me, to where, you know, my review could be totally different than what your actual feelings on it. Absolutely some hair tutorials on filmed in one day. Like, I didn't think that was like a secret, you know what I'm saying? Especially if you have low porosity hair. Like, a lot of times, most times, when your hair is dry, it's the next day. Like, I just thought we all said that, like, we'll put it in the top or something, hey, next day, because it takes hours to dry your hair. Okay, so this one is a reoccurring theme. This is on Instagram and on YouTube, so we can go ahead and address. You know what I'm saying? It is some YouTubers, influencers out here that's rich, okay? Like,
I am rich, bitch. I am rich, bitch.
Rich, okay? Rich, okay? I'm not rich, okay? I'm not nowhere near rich, honey. Does my YouTube, you know, pay my bills? Absolutely. Like, I mean, I'm sure everybody has their price. You know, I could sit up here and say,
no, I don't care how much money you offer me, I would never, endorse something I don't believe in.
But also, I can't sit up here and say, you know what I'm saying, I don't like Toyotas, no offense to Toyota. But let's just sit here and say, you know what I'm saying, I don't like Toyota cars, and if they offer me $1 million to promote Toyota, I'm okay in that Toyota, okay? But as far as like small things, no, it's just really, it don't be worth it in the end. I'm not gonna endorse no hair product, no skincare products that I don't believe in, because then if it come back and blow up in your face for the same reasons, like it gotta be a reason that you don't believe in it, and it come back and blow up in your face, it's like, being honest, I have a good life, you know what I'm saying? Like, I have my problems just like everybody else, but I am blessed, you know what I'm saying? I have family and friends who love me, and my life in Birmingham was, you know, good. Like, my life was already good, you know, I just wanted to do something, push my comfort level, and, you know, live my best life. And sure, yeah, and I feel like anytime you're stepping out of your comfort level, anytime that you are doing, you know, something that is furthering your dreams, like, my assumption was absolutely right. Like, I love being in Los Angeles. Like, so far so good, child. If it ever end up being not good, you know, the good thing is you can always go home, okay? Like, people be like, I don't want to move nowhere, so what if I don't like it? Go home, girl. Like, just go home. Like, it's not that big of a deal. You know, some people feel like maybe they fail. It's not that big of a deal. Just because I'm a natural hair influencer do not mean I like to do other people's hair, y'all. Like, I just know how to do my hair. And, you know, people are like, girl, did you do my hair? And I'm like, girl, no, you don't. No, you don't, because I'm not a hairstylist. Like, I don't like it. I tried it for a little bit in college when I needed a little, like, money. I don't like it. And these were the questions. Y'all questions, I mean, y'all assumptions tickled me on Instagram. Absolutely, absolutely, they test us. I just feel like people would be a lot more professional if it wasn't an email. Like, never in real life is it okay or acceptable to end the conversation by not saying anything. This was a very good assumption, and I am going to go more with yes than no. It definitely can feel very isolating. In the very beginning, I'll say that it felt more lonely than it does now for me personally, just because a lot of that just comes from, you know, not reaching out, not being social with other influencers. Like, if you don't want to feel lonely and isolated, don't isolate yourself. Like, you are in the land of social media. There is at least one person who does the same thing that you do, that you can relate to, that you can talk to, that y'all can like support each other through it. I experience this all the time. I feel like a lot of times, and I have lost a lot of friendships being an influencer because people substitute seeing me on YouTube, on Instagram, on social media for actually maintaining an actual relationship with me. People will see me on social media, you're my friend, and just assume that I'm doing okay, assume that I'm fine, and you know, like a post of mine and think that that is you still maintaining a relationship with me. And it's like, no, like, social media is, you know, still my job. So just because you see me posting on social media doesn't mean that you don't have to like call me, check on me, talk to me, text me, like any of that. So not for me, because you guys know, if you follow me on Instagram, I am very much into carving out time for mindfulness, be it meditation or just time with God and, you know, devotions and prayer. That is a perk to being an influencer. Yes, I do get a lot of free things. It is pretty cool, but, you know, sometimes it can get overwhelming because people just think that if they send you free stuff, you're obligated to them, you owe them something. And it's like, I had to very quickly draw that line to let people know, thank you, but I am not obligated to you. So it has its ups and its downs. Everybody feel like you owe them something because they sent you something that you didn't even ask them for. I do have a life, and I have to remind people of that. Like, when I'm not on all the time, I do have stuff outside of here. Got, you know, friends, got family, got a boyfriend, got dogs, like just stuff that I like to do. So, you know, bear with me. But then also, it does take over your life. Like I was saying earlier, it absolutely takes over your life. So sometimes I do feel like I don't have no life. That assumption is absolutely wrong, but people do assume that. I am naturally like an introverted person unless I'm comfortable in the situation. I am not typically comfortable in large groups. People just don't you know, assume that, but it's like, as YouTubers, we are in our own safe space at home, talking to our camera, honey, editing it how we want to, and presenting ourselves how we want to. Crowds are something different. People do assume that about influencers, and that is absolutely wrong. First of all, you know what I'm saying, we have to be our own hairstylist, our own makeup artist, our own cameraman, our own lighting man, our own director, our own editor, you know, our own publicist. The list goes on. So it's just like our own managers. So no, honey, if this is your full-time job and you're trying to make money, trying to secure bags for yourself, and you're trying to put out good content and edit good content and record good quality content and not look a fool doing it, honey, it takes a long time. Like, it is a whole full day process, a whole full-time job. That's true. I mean, I do work for myself, so I set my own schedule, but at the same time, it just depends on, you know, what kind of influencer you are, what kind of influencer you're trying to be, the schedule of the content that you're trying to put out. If you're trying to put out content every day or every other day, like, it ain't that flexible, honey, because you got to be recording and editing and doing all that. So it's like, you know, define too much. Like, too much for you, you know, maybe, but my hair is fine and flourishes. So it's just like, no matter how much I wash my hair until I come on here and my hair just look damaged and it's breaking off, and, you know, it was just wasting it the other day. I don't think but it's too much. Like, I don't know if it's necessarily because of trends, but there are absolutely a lot of content that gets filmed that either gets deleted or never shown for a number of reasons. Either you'll film the whole video, which has happened to me, and you either don't like the way that you look in the footage, you don't like the way that you sound in the footage, you have an echo, the lighting was poor, you know, you just decided you didn't want to put it out. It'll have a copyright claim on it, and I know I've deleted stuff that has been flagged or copyrighted and just pulled it off my channel, because in the back of my mind, I feel like when you get flagged, it kind of like dings your channel. And then YouTube start picking on you a little bit, you know what I'm saying? And they not really pushing your stuff to the feed no more. So I'll go ahead and pull that video down, because it's like, you punishing me. A big follower will definitely guarantee that people will reach out to you, you know what I'm saying? But it doesn't guarantee collabs or big partnerships, just because people be playing, okay? People be playing, and the bigger your influence is, I feel like the bigger people try you, okay? As an influencer, sometimes, you know, Personally, I turn down way more sponsorships than I accept, just because folks playing, you know what I'm saying? Or it's something that I don't believe in, or, you know, it just don't align with my brand. Like, why are you coming to me asking me to review panties on my channel? Like, when do I ever look like I would review a panty on this channel? You know what I'm saying? As far as like steady income, again, it's levels. Like, every influencer is different. Everybody, like, it's not like we all get the same paycheck. We all, you know, everybody who has 100K getting paid the same thing. It's not like that. Everything is different. Like, level of sponsorships, your YouTube check, like, believe it or not, I know people do feel like influencers only have one stream of income, when in reality, like, influencers like invented, entrepreneurs invented like the whole multiple streams of income thing. But for me personally, I would say that my income, like, is pretty steady, to the fact that it's like, I know the minimum amount that I'm gonna get every month, and then that kind of like fluctuates. And then, you know, your bills, I mean, it just depends. Like, are your bills, that's pretty much a individual person thing too. Like, your responsibility level, how much responsibility have you put on yourself in comparison to the amount of money that you're making? You only spending what you can afford. It's always easy to pay your bills. If you living above your means, you know what I'm saying, it may be hard to pay your bills. If you living at your means, it may be hard to pay your bills. If you living a little below your means, then you probably always got a little overflow, okay? You know what I'm saying? We always don't have to live right at our means, okay? So that is it for this video. That was the majority of the assumptions that you guys have. Of course, like, I couldn't cover every single person, every single assumption that I got, but I feel like I covered, like, you know, the landscape of the assumptions. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Of course, if you made it all the way to the end of this long ass video, honey, you definitely should be my cousin. So make sure that you are subscribed to my channel, turn your notifications on so you can become a cousin. cousin. Everybody else, like and comment.
You know what to do.
And I will see everybody in the next upload.